Hello, everyone, and welcome to what'll be the UFL kind of Week 10 Saturday Week 10 kind of the game. We'll look at the two games that are on today. First of all, I would like to say that this is my first video on this channel in a while, and I've done a lot of stuff on TikTok, so I don't really have a setup for YouTube yet. So I'm going to get that. Obviously, difference in how the screen rotates. So I'm going to try to fix it up so that I actually have a better setup for this. But, hey, I thought, what, there's only one way to get started, and that's just do it and see what can get better and, what mistakes I make. But either way, let's get started on looking at the games. So the first game on this weekend slate is the Panthers at Stallions. This one is a 2 o'clock kickoff on ESPN. And this one really doesn't have too many stakes attached to it due to the fact that it doesn't really matter too much, and the championship game for the USFL conference will be at Birmingham next week, no matter the result. So there's not a 1 seed at play. There isn't anything but, kind of whatever, even nothing. So I thought for this one I would kind of just, skip over it a little bit. And again, there's not much there. Unfortunately, due to that. I mean, these two teams have been the best two teams all season in the USFL conference. Obviously, the Panthers are on a pretty decent winning streak, having gone 2-2 to start their season and then won every game since, winning 5 in a row. And then the Stallions have obviously been the Stallions. They've been dominant throughout the whole season. Obviously, they had a hiccup last week against the Brahmas, but that game really didn't matter too much to them, so either way. Yeah, so this one should be a decent one. That one's not really too much. We won't spend too much time looking at that one because, again, it doesn't really do much in terms of standings wise. But this next game, oh boy, it has a lot more stakes to it. The the Brahmas at the Battlehawks. So this one should be a great game. Obviously, these two teams are playing for the 1 seed. St. Louis has the added thing of, well, they could clinch home field advantage throughout the championship game, as the UFL championship game is taking place in St. Louis on their home field. So they would actually kind of, do the thing that a couple NFL teams have attempted to do, or actually done, and play their championship game on their home field. So either way, that's what they're kind of looking for. The Brahmas look to kind of upset that, and they would have an interesting opportunity here. They could, beat the Battlehawks in this game, put the game in the Alamo Dome, and then have a chance to win if they were to win next week after that, then they could possibly win the UFL championship game on their, biggest rivals' home field. So that would be, that's always a cool little thing to do. But either way, let's kind of look at the key players and how the defenses perform for both these teams. For the Brahmas, they get Chase Garber's back, the guy who for the first 3 weeks of the season was playing great football. And, he came in last week, played, great, obviously led them to that victory over the Stallions. And, he's back. This season so far, he has a completion percentage of 70.5%. He has thrown for 725 yards, 6 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. So just playing some great football. At running back, that's a very interesting situation for the Brahmas, as John Lovett is doubtful, and Anthony McFarland is also not going to play. So that leaves them on their 3rd string running back, which is actually Morgan Eliason. He is their number 1 back because of that, basically. On the year, he has 35 carries for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, kind of an interesting thing to have a, guy who really hadn't played that many, hasn't been the guy, be the guy in such a high-stakes game. But, he may have to be that next week, too. Never know. But either way, a wide receiver, Jonte Kirkland and Marquez Stevenson are their 2 top guys at wide receiver. Cody Latimer is also usually in that top 3, but he is going to be out for this game, so obviously we'll just look at Kirkland and Stevenson. Kirkland has 49 receptions for 487 yards and 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Stevenson has 30 receptions for 257 yards and 2 touchdowns. And defensively, the Brahmas have been nothing but the best. I mean, their defense is just, amazing. Last week, they only gave 9 points to the Stallions. I think it was 9 points. Either way, they were just incredible. But yeah, they've only been giving up 15.6 points and 263.1 yards of total offense a game. So yeah, just been stifling that. Now let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum with the Battlehawks, who actually have one of the best offenses in all of the UFL. But they have a huge question mark coming into this week at quarterback, as AJ McCarron is yet again questionable with his ankle injury. So we will have to see whether or not he gets to start, or will it be Manny Wilkins again. So let's look at both of them in case, McCarron doesn't end up being able to play. McCarron this year has a completion percentage of 66.7. He has thrown for 1,467 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Meanwhile, Wilkins is 27 of 50 on the air for 305 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. He also has 141 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground, so he's been kind of a dual threat. At running back, Jacob Sailors has been their leading back. He has 82 carries for 411 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he also, through the air, has 21 receptions for 445 yards and 3 touchdowns, which actually puts him in number 1 in the UFL in terms of touchdowns scored. And now we'll look at the wide receivers for the Battlehawks. Hakeem Butler and Darius Shepard are their top running backs. I made the same mistake when I was writing the script for this. Their top wide receivers. I don't know why I keep wanting to say backs, but either way. Butler has 43 receptions for 618 yards and 5 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Shepard has 28 receptions for 236 yards. This game is kicks off again at 4 Eastern today on Fox, and again, it just has huge stakes. Obviously, the winner gets the 1 seed. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I promise these videos will get better in the future. Again, I'm just kind of experimenting, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.